Trying to stay out the sun. Grand rising, my people. Grand rising, my people. It's closer to the noon hour. Just wanted to get in real quick. Had to get in the truck on this one right here. That's where the AC at, baby. Grand rising. Oh, yeah, baby. It's my kind of weather. Okay. So let me go ahead and jump right into this right here real quick. So this video right here is what I'm gonna go and tell you in this video. You take it how you want. But in this video right here, man, this right here mainly for people like myself that have had younger kids that have lost their siblings. And I don't know how y'all go by dealing with that right there, but I'm gonna tell you something. The other night ago, I'm gonna tell you how I had to deal with it. So the other night ago, I want to say night before last, my youngest daughter had some company over here, and she came upstairs in the middle of the night to get into bed with us because she was missing her brother. And that's what she told her mother. Now, I was asleep at the time, but when I woke up at about maybe 2 something that morning, I noticed that she was upstairs, and the first thing I told her mother was, listen, she seen something. And that was my thing. I felt like she seen something. And so her mother told me, she said, well, she told me that she was missing her brother. And I said, I knew it was something. I knew it because she had company there, to, keep her occupied, for the time being. And she left that company to, come upstairs. That's not really, normal for her. So, why am I saying this? Because I realized that at that point, and this is something that you got to realize, if you in this situation, because you got other kids, man, that you got to think about, man. But the youngest ones, there's nothing against, hey auntie, nothing against the older ones, but the youngest kids is the ones that you really want to zero in on. You see what I'm saying? Because, see, I'm going to tell you, that's where you're going to get the majority of your strength from. It's going to be the youngest kids. It's going to be the youngest ones. So, and you got people out here that have lost kids, but they got siblings. You know what I'm saying? And they got young siblings. And so I say the younger the better, because, see, here's what happened. You don't want your kid, the youngest kid, like if they like in them young years, like toddler, up to about maybe 5, 6 years old, 7, something like that. Like, you don't want their energy to drop. You see what I'm saying? Because you kind of feed off of their energy. That's what kind of give you the boost to want to like move stronger. And I'll give you an example of that right there, because if you ever been stepping in my shoes, if you done been in my shoes, I'm gonna tell you what happens. If you ever find yourself in a moment, right, where you thinking too hard and I done hit you, and you start having yourself what I like to call a moment. If that youngest child come around or somehow find you somewhere in that house or wherever you at in the middle of while you having your moment, you're gonna try to clean that up really fast. You don't want your youngest child, or none of your kids for that matter, to see you in that condition. You understand? So when the youngest child energy drops so low to where they like, man, listen, I'm missing my brother. Now, see, for the young kids, and the reason why I say the young kids is because, listen, they still operate in childlike energy. You see what I'm saying? It haven't hit them to the degree that it hit you. See, you know what's going on. That child really don't, they know what's going on, but they don't get it to that degree. They still pure. You see what I'm saying? You haven't had a chance to really show them the other end. So this is where you learn that with them. This is where I'm learning that, y'all. I ain't saying what you got to do, but this is where I learned that with them. Because see, if I know something that they don't know, then I teach them. But at this point, I see it's something that they know. I'm talking about the kids. It's something that they know that I may have forgotten. See, they more closer to purity than you are. You see what I'm saying? This is how important that the kid is. The kid is important because the kid is more pure. The kid is more closer in spirit than you are. You done been tainted. You see what I'm saying? So this right here is why it's important that we don't talk to these little kids the way I hear some of these parents talk to some of these little kids. You know what I'm saying? You're using derogatory language toward the little kid as if they were adults. You don't do that, because then when you do that right there, you take away what you would lean on to restore yourself energetically. You see what I'm saying? See, them kids, kids don't have no filter. Them kids, they are as pure as they come. This is the reason why you have to correct them at times when you out in public and you in grocery stores or somewhere, and somebody might come by and they might have a foul odor or something like that. That kid gonna let you know. That kid gonna tell you flat out, gonna be loud, and you gonna have to apologize for your kid. See? That's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. You pay attention to that right there. Them kids right there, they are connected to source energy. Now, they might not know that though. They might not know that, but this is what I'm telling you. This is what I know this from my end. You see what I'm saying? Because my youngest daughter is the person that I have to get my strength from in order for me to keep moving. You know what I'm saying? For she's a big help in that strength, so to say. You know what I'm saying? Not the only help, but she's the main source at this point because she's the youngest. Do you understand what I'm saying? She's the youngest, so you got to protect her energy as well, because if your energy is low and her energy is low. See, let me explain to y'all how this stuff right here might work. If your energy is low, right? Let's just say your energy is low and you feel like you're about to go into a moment. Let me tell you how the kids work in your favor. And you might not get this right here because trust me, I done been there, and it done been times where I've been able to have, about to get ready to have a moment, and my daughter would come out of nowhere and would do something totally out the way. She might come to me all laughing and jolly and, hey, Daddy, let's play patty cake. And I was just about to get ready to have a moment. See, that's the type of stuff that them kids will do. They'll come in there and do something that'll take your attention, it'll drag your attention away from whatever it was that was about to happen. Them kids gonna bump in the house, they gonna run around, it's something that they're going to do. I don't care if one of them have to scream and cry or something. But when you about to get ready to go into your moment and stuff like that, something happened with the youngest kids. You just pay attention. If you paid attention, you would notice that something is going to happen outside of you at this point that's going to deflect your attention from what you was about to take yourself through. If you pay attention to it, you can catch it. This is what I mean by when in order for you to conquer this grief that we go through, for the ones that's in my shoes, you're going to have to do it consciously. You have to know when you're on your way down that path, and then know that something just happened with these younger kids that just broke your concentration on that path that you was about to go down. Do you understand? So when my daughter got ready, when I know, like, I felt my daughter's energy. I hadn't talked to her. I didn't know that right there until her mother told me that, hey, listen, she said she missed her brother. And see, that right there is where you don't just write off. You know what I'm saying? You have to find something, because see, and then let's just say, for instance, if it's two of y'all in a household, you have to work together on that, because see, here's the thing. What she would tell her mother, she's not gonna tell me. You see what I'm saying? She would tell her mother stuff like, I miss Junior, or I miss my brother, or something like that. She won't tell me that. So that right there is where the parents got a super cop together to get this information from this younger one. Stop writing this stuff off. The stuff that y'all hear. If y'all ever hear them talking by themselves, while they in the room by themselves or something like that, and y'all hear them talking to themselves, just ear in. Pay attention to the youngest child. It ain't got to be your child. It's the youngest child that's around you. Whoever got the youngest energy, that right there is where you pay your attention to right there. Because I'm telling you, that's where you're going to get your energy from. You know what I'm saying? Some of your energy is that's where you're going to get your energy from. Which is why I really think that kids really help their parents as babies, as kids. If you would notice, some people that have kids, you would notice some people would say that, well, that baby slowed them down, slowed her down from whatever it was that they were doing. You see what I'm saying? Because now you got a different focus. You see what I'm saying? You pulling energy from that child, and that child getting energy from you. But you can't mess that up by talking to them any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Saying and calling them out their name, calling them stupid and all this other stuff. Because you messing up something for you. You know what I'm saying? You messing up your blessings. You know what I'm saying? Through them kids. Do you understand? See, when I had the last two youngest kids that I had before Junior passed, my youngest one, when I had the two youngest one, Junior and her sister and his sister, that changed my mentality from what I used to think, and it just changed a lot. You know what I'm saying? In ways that I wouldn't think that I would have even probably changed. But now he gone. And that done changed too. But see, at the same point, the way that it done changed, you could take that either way. I'm not even going to say that. I don't know which way from the outside looking in, because I'm from the inside looking out. But it changes. It done changed again. So at times when I feel like I don't have Junior to rely on, I can always go to my youngest daughter. She always gonna do something. She gonna show some crazy TikTok dance. She's gonna say something out the way. She gonna say something to the point to where you gonna almost want to tell them, listen, just, pretty much go find something to do. Like you almost gonna want to stay in that moment for a minute. You gonna almost feel like, like they interrupted what was about to be a moment. You know what I'm saying? You gonna kind of like shove them away. Like you don't feel like being bothered type of deal. Now, if you get to that point right there, that right there I wouldn't shove them away, because you're going to feel like that right there, man. When you get down to a chance where you about to feel like you about to have a moment, and it just happened randomly. Trust me, it just happened randomly. This stuff come up out the blue. You could be smiling 1 minute and Jack the next minute. You could be in tears and you won't even, it just happened. Just like that right there. You know what I'm saying? And when the child, the youngest one, come around and they say something or that you would typically say, just go play, go find something to do so you can finish having your moment, try not to do that. Try to let them interrupt you. Try to let them interrupt you so you don't go down that path. Because I'm telling you, man, it'll take a drag out your day, man. And that right there is really hard. I be thinking about my boy so hard. I ain't playing. I be thinking about him so hard. And it is really difficult to pull yourself up out that thought process once you done sunk in it for so long. You know what I'm saying? Again, we trying to heal here. That's what we trying to do. That's what we want to do. That's the goal. We want to heal. But if you keep on allowing yourself to be, in that place of sunkenness, that's not going to work out. You ain't going to be able to do them both. You can't do them both. You know what I mean? And so that's the thing. That's where I'm working at. So I know now that I got some work to do when my daughter start feeling a certain way, because it's hard for a kid to feel, for their energy to be low, because naturally they got high spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's why they ask you questions. To us, they might be stupid questions or something like that. They might ask you something crazy and we just go along with it. We put on the little kitty voice for them and say little crazy stuff back to them and stuff like that. We get on their level. You see what I'm saying? But that right there actually help you if you a grieving parent or you a grieving person that's going through something. You grab that baby and you give that baby a big hug, man, because that baby, you gonna get some energy from that baby that's gonna help you make it through your day or make it through that moment, at least at bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why, like the babies, the kids, that they so powerful that if you ever walked inside a room and there was a baby there, I don't care what your day was like, for the biggest end, you gonna smile. You gonna look at that baby and you gonna smile. They just bring out a natural smile in you. You see what I'm saying? That's what them kids do. And they do that all the way up, especially like when they learning grammar. You know, if them kids learning grammar, the way they put their words together before they able to talk sentences and the stuff that they say, it'd be so hilarious. You see what I'm saying? That's what they are there for. They are actually helping you out. You see what I'm saying? When they do certain things that you think is so cute, but it's so funny at the same time. You know, I ain't talking about the cussing and all that other stuff. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the stuff that babies do. Now, if you're in a position where you done lost a child and you still got some young kids around, you can still get that from them, but you have to be in a place you can't write them off. You can't write them off, because if they down, it's much harder for you, because now you don't have a resource to get your energy from, your good energy. You don't have a really good resource to tap into to get your good energy from. That's why it's important, you know? But like I said, I didn't want to make this right here thing too long. It was just something that was on my mind. This right here was something that I noticed with my daughter and everything. And, you know, when she get a little older, I explain it to her so she can understand it a little better. But she be having her moments too. And she take her moments a lot better. But the thing about it is she more easygoing with her moments with her mother versus with me. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, if y'all in that situation, use that to y'all advantage. You know what I'm saying? See what you can get. You know, certain, like I said, certain things they say, certain things that, you know, just pay attention. Just pay attention. That's all I'm saying. Just pay attention. What's going on, my good brother? You know? Because I'm telling you, the kids is where it's at. The kids haven't had a chance to get tainted with the world, with the way of the world. They just been kids, man. They just been doing stuff that kids do. That's right. They just doing stuff that kids do. So with them doing the stuff that kids do, and that would take you paying attention to that kid, in many cases, that would take your mind away from whatever's going on. Because we trying to heal, and like I said, my thing is to do the majority of your healing if you can, because this stuff right here can go on and on. I don't know how long this stuff lasts. You know, I don't know how long it lasts for real. For me, like I said, I'm 7 months in, almost 8. I'm almost 8 months in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm typically, for me, I'm trying to flush as much of this stuff out within the first year as possible. Start putting yourself back together, man, because we in situations where we just cannot stay. We just can't stay there, man. It's just the bottom line to it, man. We can't stay there. All right? So I ain't want to drag this thing out. That was just what I wanted to talk about. Make sure that if you going through this right here and you got younger kids or something like that, and the youngest ones, them the energies that you want to protect, because they the ones that you're going to get your energy from in return. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it works. That's just the way. Or you can lock yourself out. Or you can lock yourself out of it. You can lock yourself out the energy. And keep yourself in a sunken place. But just know that when you do that, you are doing it to yourself. I cannot emphasize that enough. Because if you know that you're doing this to yourself, hopefully something to kick in and say, why am I doing this to myself? because it talks to me that way. Why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you doing this to yourself? And it's like you feel like you can't help it, but when you know that it's happening, then you can help it. When you don't know that it's happening and it's happening, then that's something else. You know what I mean? So that was all the message that I wanted to drop today. Again, short video, not too long. I'm gonna stick to that again today, because it's 90 degrees out here already, and I'm about to go ground myself in front of my yard. That's what I'm gonna do, and sit right here and absorb some of this sun. This right here is my weather. I love it. 90, 85, 95 degrees, right up my alley. That's right. That's me all day. I sit out here in this all day, and that's what I'm gonna do. So, y'all have a good day. Hey, Uncle Roni, YouTube, go subscribe, share, comment, like. You can inbox me too if you want to. If y'all need to know anything, got any questions, anything you want me to speak on, talk about, hit me in the inbox. Y'all got me. All right. Y'all have a good one.